Welcome, friends. My name is Melody, and you are listening to Melodies, Musings, and Music. Welcome to my sacred space. I'm glad you all could join me here tonight. This is take 3 of trying to get this video done over the last 3 days, despite computer problems. But I wanted to invite you here tonight to participate with me in a method of meditation that I am developing that incorporates the use of all 5 senses to create a immersive experience for people who would like to learn how to meditate. And there are several reasons why we might want to meditate. Chief and foremost would be healing from inner child wounds, from trauma bonds that we have formed with other people, for healing of body, mind, and spirit. You know, meditation is also an important part of keeping our vibration, our personal vibration, high. Because the higher we can maintain the vibration, the smoother our lives flow. It also helps us heal our limbic system, which is a network of brain structures that are involved in emotion, motivation, memory, and behavior regulation. Many people don't realize that if you can get your limbic system healed in a natural way and balanced, that they would not be as susceptible to external triggers or lower vibrational temptations that are put upon us by society or other people who try to control our emotions and behavior. You know, it used to be a total mystery to me. I was working in the space industry in a very scientific environment, and high stress, by the way. And although I longed to reduce my stress levels, and I heard other people talking about meditating, it was a total mystery to me as to how to properly meditate and what the benefits of that would be. And so in this video, I'm going to teach you my personal method for what I call deep meditation. And I'm going to talk a little bit about why I do it. Now, I'm going to walk you through an actual session that I had recently, and I recorded it on audio, and it works very well for me. I'll play it for you in just a few minutes. I want to do a few things first in preparation for this session. One of the first things I do when I'm getting ready to meditate is light some incense. And I explain on the recording why I use frankincense incense almost exclusively. I also light several electronic candles, and as you can see, the room is dark. I used to use regular candles, but then I learned that the scents in many of the regular candles are actually toxic to our bodies. So I use electronic candles now and use other things for scent in the room. The next thing I do is begin the relaxation process by taking 3 deep breaths. And as we take these 3 deep breaths, we imagine that we are inhaling love and peace and serenity. And then as we exhale through our mouth, we imagine that we are releasing any stress, anxiety, or negative energy that we've been holding on to from conversations we've had with other people that day, emails, telephone calls, stress that we picked up in traffic on the way home from work or whatever. But we're going to release all of that. So let's begin with 3 cleansing breaths. Gets a little extra oxygen to your brain too, which is never a bad thing. The next thing I'm going to do is make 3 sounds on this Tibetan song bowl, which is also in some cultures used to clear the energy in the room of anything negative that we're hanging on to. Now, I'm not an expert at this yet. I'm teaching myself how to do this. And people who are used to it know how to go around the room and keep that gong going, but I haven't done that yet, so I'm just going to do 3 dings on the bell. If you're wearing headphones, you might want to turn them down. And last but not least, I'm going to use some frankincense essential oil to anoint myself before I play this session for you. Ears to hear what the Spirit is saying. Eyes to see what the Spirit is showing me. And then with whatever's left on my finger, I go around my mouth. And I say, a mouth that speaks only love and truth. And before we begin the audio portion, I'm going to show you this. This is one of my affirmation cards. This one happens to be spiritual development. And it says, I listen to the voice of my soul every day. That's a good thing, to learn how to go inward and discover things about ourselves that we may not have been aware of before. Okay, I'm going to play this session for you that I recorded a few days ago. And then I will come back on and talk a little bit more. It's June 11th, 2024, and I don't know what time it is, but it's late. Well, it's midnight. What do you know? And I am in my self-designed deep meditation room right now, which is what my reflexology room doubles as at night. I am currently sitting in my relax massage chair, letting it work on my physical body to help it to relax. I have a drumming video on my television that is called Pulse of the Earth, which I thought was pretty cool. Drumming helps me to get into the meditation zone, because a lot of times, you know, when you sit down to meditate, your brain just goes crazy and you can't seem to focus on just staying still and not thinking so much. And so when you put on the drums and you tell yourself to focus on the beat of the drum and to let that drumming become a part of your heartbeat, then you will be able to get out of your head and drop down into your spirit so that you can really get the full effect of a deep meditation session like this one. So, I don't know if I mentioned when I was talking about being in my massage chair, I have a very, very, very soft blanket that I laid on the chair before I sat on it. And then my recommendation is that you remove as much clothing as you feel comfortable removing so that most of your skin can feel the softness of that blanket. And I'll explain why a little bit later, why that's important. And next I have incense burning, and I almost always exclusively use frankincense for meditation because frankincense enhances spirituality and a connection to your spiritual center. In my case, it's my connection to my Heavenly Father. And so that's why I like to use frankincense, because it just enhances the entire experience. Plus it's a very healing scent. The other thing that I have is several electronic candles burning. The room is dark except for the light of the candles and the light from the various screens that are sitting around the room, namely my television, my computer, and my phone. On my computer, I have some deep meditation music playing. And after the drums have gone on for an hour, and you're really in that deep meditative state, then the other music, and that music, the drums will stop playing after an hour, and then you'll have the soft, deep meditation music playing on the other side of the room, in the background. So that is the initial setup of the room. And I want to explain why I've included all five senses. I forgot to say that I also have my projector sitting on a chair pointed at the ceiling, and against the dark ceiling there's a picture of the Earth and a satellite orbiting above the Earth. So that's my whole point. The whole point of getting into this deep meditative state is so that you have prepared yourself for this experience properly. And to do that, you have to do body, which is, for me, it's the massage chair. It could be a massage pad if you have one of those, that you can just lay flat on the bed or the floor. But regardless, as long as you're in a comfortable position and you're laying on your back and you're looking up at the ceiling, and you have the appropriate sounds playing in the background, it'll work just as well. Okay, so getting back to my point, I'm using all 5 senses here to create an immersive experience. So if you open your eyes while you're laying down, you're looking at a projection of either the Earth or the Milky Way or the cosmos, the planets, solar system, or you're looking at the solar system slide has the sun on it. There's another one for the moon, and it shows all of the moon's phases circling around the moon. And on all of these slides, there's a starry background. It looks as if you're looking into space. And the stars and the planets are orbiting, slowly turning. And so I like to look at whatever planet I'm focused on and look to see what images I see. Similar to when we were kids and we used to lay on our backs in the grass and look at the clouds. And that's exactly what I'm talking about here. Look at the shapes and the swirls that are on the Earth slide, and let your body relax, let your mind relax. Take a deep breath. Now open your eyes and look at the planet that is over your head, and identify as many shapes as you can, and allow the Holy Spirit to show you things that are meaningful to your life situation at this point in time. I have had entire stories explained to me in images, just looking at the planets. And sometimes as they orbit, it'll change. For each person, it'll be different. But just be observant of what you see. And if you're able to, record what you see verbally, as I'm doing now. So the first thing you see is the planets and the stars overhead. Then if you look to your television screen, you see the thumbprint artwork for the Pulse of the Earth video that is playing the drums for us in the background. And then if you look at your computer screen, you've got images of beautiful nature scenes and or the moon or the stars, whichever deep meditative recording you chose for that night or for that session. So you've got between the projection on the ceiling, the television screen, the candles burning, and the computer screen, that covers this sense of sight. But the key is that everything is focused. Like tonight I'm looking at the Earth. I switch slides every time I go through this process, and I just let my intuition tell me which of the slides I need to look at on that particular day. And I have 12 of them that I can rotate through. And then just, the drums will remain consistent throughout. And the meditation music. So you've got that in terms of sound. And, in addition to that, I've got the sound of the massage chair humming in the background and a fan in the room. So we've covered eyes, we've covered sound. The incense covers the scent, the smell, eyes, sound, eyes, ears, nose. And we've covered the touch part by putting a soft blanket down on the chair or the bed that you're sitting on. And if you want the double effect, you could take another soft blanket and put it over the top of your body. And of course, you've removed as much clothing as you feel comfortable removing so that your body can feel the soft textures. So that's touch. And what do we have for taste? I'm glad you asked that question. I actually like to have a little something sweet right before I do my sessions because I'm not much of a sweets eater at all during the day, but at night I like to have just a little something sweet. It doesn't have to be a lot. Maybe with a glass of milk on the side. And or I have some little gummies that I like to suck on. That are tasty. They're little sweet treats as well. So there you go. We have all 5 senses covered. And you're going to lay in that position on that bed or chair for at least 30 minutes. But an hour is recommended in order to get into that very, very deep state where not only is your body relaxed, but your spirit is calm, your nervous system is calm, your brain has kind of disconnected a bit. And of course, it takes practice to really quiet your mind. But if you're gentle with yourself when you're beginning this process, don't be critical. There's no way you can make a mistake because all of it is just a matter of learning and then practicing what we've learned. But in order to learn, sometimes you have to make a mistake. Or we would think of it that way. But in this case, we don't think of it that way. Because there are no mistakes. There are just adjustments that are needed. If something's not quite working for us. And we take whatever time we need to make those adjustments. Without feeling like, we're under any kind of pressure whatsoever. The whole goal of this meditation process is to relax your entire being, body, mind, and spirit. So that once you are in that state, after you've been in this atmosphere for 30 to 60 minutes, depending on your tolerance levels, then your mind is receptive to whatever it is that God, the universe, your spirit guides, anybody that you wish to connect with, and you just set your intent as for who you want to connect with. Being in this completely relaxed and deep meditative state enables you to make those connections. And there's no way to rush this process. If you want to deepen, I'll say, because you may have your own method for how you communicate with your Creator. But the point is, if you add this routine to it, or incorporate it somehow, it will take you into a much deeper meditative state where you can receive messages from your spirit guides, your spirit team, your Creator, your angels, your ancestors, your spirit animals. Throw them all in there, okay? And then decide which one you want to communicate with and make that your intention. I intend to connect with Jesus. I'm open to His instructions. I have ears to hear what the Spirit is saying. And then go within yourself. Meet with that person that you said you wish to talk to. And either record or on video or audio, or write it down, or both. Maybe you want to record it first and then transcribe it. But if you continue to do this on a regular basis, and I try to do it as often as I can. I can't really say that I do it every day, but I'm working on becoming more disciplined so that it is on a daily basis. Because I really think that there's something about consistency here, and that once you've received your messages and you've either recorded or written them down, you actually have the beginning of a spiritual journal, because those recordings or what you've written down are a record of what you were told, and you put the date at the top of the page or the top of the recording. Be sure and date everything so that you can go back to it later, or if you need to reference it again. It's the wisdom coming down from the universe and being planted inside of you, so that you can just then take that to help heal yourself and others. So I'm going to end this here because I want to see how long it was. I'm still practicing this myself. Okay, 23 minutes so far. And I've got a couple of messages to respond to, so I will end it here and pick it up next time. Melodies, Musings, Deep Meditation, signing out. So, there you go. Our first deep meditative session. Done together. I do plan to record additional sessions that are guided meditations on a variety of topics and themes in the future, and I will share them with you as I develop them. I wanted to make a point, although I mentioned it in the audio portion, about the importance of getting out of our heads. Because in today's world, when we are bombarded with so much stress and stimuli from all around us, people tend to get stuck in their heads. And you know, that's just a vicious cycle. You don't solve problems, and therefore you don't heal by staying in your head. The trick is to drop out of your head and down into your spirit or your heart space, because your heart is actually your second brain. I don't know how many of you know that, but science has proven that your heart is a brain in and of itself. And when we learn to live from our heart space, our spirit, we make choices and decisions that actually lead to healing. During that session, you know, we talked about the use of frankincense incense, and of course, there are people who are sensitive to smoke. So if you are a person who is sensitive to smoke, you can use an alternative method. I showed you the frankincense oil, but you can also use if you don't want to put it on your skin, you can use frankincense in a diffuser like this one. I like this one because it's simple to operate, and this little rim right here, when it's plugged in, lights up with different colors. And to operate it, you just simply fill it with water to a certain place that's marked on the inside. And for a room this size, which is about the average size of, size of an average bedroom, after you put the water in, you put 10 or 12 drops of, in my case, I use frankincense oil. But you can use any scent that is soothing to you. Another method is to use an incense burner. Now this is a little container inside. I usually line mine with aluminum foil, but you can put little pieces of frankincense resin in here and then plug it in and turn it on, and it will actually heat the resin and then the scent from the resin comes out of these little holes. And what else do I have over here? Oh yes, the projector. This is one of my favorite little toys that I found on Amazon. Most of this can be found on Amazon, by the way, and I don't have any endorsements from them, so I'm not making anything on this. But you take a little power pack like this and plug it in. The projector has a light that shines at the ceiling, and it has this little tray that you can pull out, and on the tray you place any one of the slides that come with this, as I spoke about in the audio portion of this session. And then you put the slide back in, and I actually have it pointed at my ceiling, so I'm going to put it down on my ottoman here because I want you to see this. There's something about laying back in a relaxed position and looking up at the cosmos while you're sinking into that deep place within yourself, but you're also reaching out and reaching up for cosmic wisdom and or spiritual wisdom from your guides. So I'm going to turn this around one more time. And see if I can give you a sense of what this experience is like. And as I said in the audio portion, now this one is the sun and the planets, the solar system surrounding the sun. But if you really take the time to look carefully, I'll turn this light off here so you can see. You can see images in the various planets. And let the cosmos speak to you. It's a very, very powerful experience. And I have actually received many of my downloads on spiritual topics while I'm in this relaxed state. I will give you a few other little pointers that will help. The reason I do this is because it's important. I've practiced enough that I've learned how to set it up so that you don't get interrupted in the middle of it. But one of the key things is, before you lay down, be sure to empty your bladder. You don't want to have to get up and run to the bathroom. Remove your shoes and socks. Remove any tight or restrictive clothing. And the reason we do that is because tight or restrictive clothing can keep you from focusing on the relaxation part. Also, remove any restrictive jewelry that you may have on. If it doesn't feel restrictive, then just leave it on. But another key point is to really focus your mind on the intention of healing your body, your mind, and your spirit. I will mention that one thing not to do is to ingest any kind of substance before the session, such as alcohol. Alcohol pokes holes in your auric field, and it's important that we be grounded. And I will talk about that in another video at some point, but we must be grounded within ourselves, and that grounding process pulls our auric field, or the electromagnetic field that surrounds all of us, to within about 18 inches from your body, from above, from below your feet, and all around. You want to pull, imagine it's like pulling the fragmented pieces of your energy that you've left everywhere you've traveled that day, and pulling it all back in, close to you, which increases your ability to focus. And you want to cleanse your energy field so that you're not carrying around negative fragments of energy from anywhere else or anyone else. And another important point is to, once you get into that deep meditative state, this is the part that a lot of people forget to do, and this is where they kind of flounder because they're not sure what to do. But it helps to have a question in mind that you are seeking answers for. So, you have not because you ask not. So simply ask your question. Ask for guidance to a solution. If you're dealing with a problem that has been going around and around in your brain, and you just keep hitting brick walls trying to figure it out, dropping into your heart space dropping into your spirit is helpful for finding those solutions. And if you have trouble doing that, close your eyes and focus your eyes, even though they're closed, downward towards your heart. And that will help you learn how to sink down into your heart space. Of course, make sure that the room is dark and that you won't be interrupted during the session. That's important. Tell your family not to disturb you for the next hour. And you're not limited to just an hour. You can go as long as you need to. Something else that I find helpful, either during these meditation sessions or afterwards, like for instance, I listen to what are known as binaural beats every night when I sleep. And I've only been doing this now for about the last 2 years, because that's about when I began my spiritual awakening journey and my healing process. And as soon as I learned about these beats, I was so excited because they are set to different frequencies, sound frequencies. And some of them are geared toward healing your body, your physical body, if you have ailments that need to be healed. That by listening to that frequency over an extended amount of time, your body begins to heal. I know that it works because I used it when I injured my back 2 years ago. I used the binaural beats. I listened to them on a consistent basis, and they helped me heal my physical body. Now, I believe that all healing comes from God, of course. But there are little tricks and things that we can use to communicate that healing frequency to our bodies. There are others that are designed for calming the mind, some that are geared for insomnia, some that are geared for healing the emotions, calming the brain. And one of my very favorites is the 999 hertz, or Hz, known as the God frequency. And if you go to YouTube and you type in either binaural beats, or you type in, just try this, try typing in 999 Hz in the YouTube search engine, and you will discover some videos that have beautiful swirling colors of all kinds. And just as I said that I use my intuition to select a slide for, the space images, I do the same thing sometimes if I don't have a specific thing that I want to focus on. I let my intuition guide me as I look at the beautiful screens. And of course I turn them all the way down to a low level so they're not disturbing my sleep, because I've never been able to sleep with a television on in the room. However, another quirky thing that I do is I listen to all sounds, whether it's on my television, my computer, or my phone, at the level of 7, or multiples, numbers that add up to 7. So at night, when I don't want to hear, loud noises, I definitely set it on 7. During the day sometimes, though, I want to turn it up a bit, so I'll put it on 16 or 25 or higher if I want it to be louder. I don't know why I do that, but I've done that for many years now, even before I began my healing journey. I like the number 7. So I think I have covered almost everything I set out to do, and I will be so glad to get this video uploaded, because oh my goodness, it's been a struggle for the last 3 days. But I just have to count the other attempts to get this done as dress rehearsals. Anyway, I'm so glad that you could join me here tonight. And I really hope that you've learned something that you might be able to use in your own life to help yourself heal. We live in such a broken world, and part of my mission here on earth is to teach people how to heal themselves and how to avail themselves of the healing that comes from Father God. And if we can each learn how to do this, and then, each one teach one, the world would truly be a better place. So, with that, I'm going to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining me. I love you with the love of God who lives within me. And I'm going to go cook some dinner because I'm hungry. And I think I might try some Indian food tonight, because that just sounds really good. Anyway, y'all, take care. And until next time, this is Melody's Musings, special deep meditation session, signing out.